and Acosta right at the back end of the field. Quite happy to look at things, to let things happen in front, and it's Classic Lady the first away. Classic Lady, Bow Street Runner over the first. Not too good in second last place, Bow Street Runner. So heading now towards fence number 2. Massini Man taking on Classic Lady for the lead, with Luca Brassi's Boy and Epsom Rock well there. Solstice Twilight and Liar's Dice just in behind them. Right to Reason and Dream Over running together. They're followed by Ruby Who. Further back to Take Your Time is being followed by Bow Street Runner and Acosta, gave them start. They're jumping fence number 2. Again, Bow Street Runner not too good there in second last place. Going towards the top of the hill as they take the turn. Massini's Man is up along the outside. Matthew Man, I should say. Matthew Man up along the outside. Matthew Man and Epsom Rock, followed by Luca Brassi's Boy in behind in third. Classic Lady, Solstice Twilight and Liar's Dice they follow. Dream Over is running alongside Right to Reason. Then Take Your Time, who's clear of Bow Street Runner and Acosta. Matthew Man in front, and rather hair raising there, but Matthew Man moves away from the open ditch with a lead of several lengths, and a deliberate leap from Bow Street Runner right at the back end of the field. So as they go behind the buildings, it's Matthew Man in front for Charlotte Tailford, and leads by a half length to Epsom Rock, and Luca Brassi's Boy is right there 3 wide going into that turn, now just drops in behind them. Classic Lady is following, and Solstice Twilight and Liar's Dice going towards the fence on the side of the track. Dream Over is alongside Take Your Time, Right to Reason's further back, coming now towards this fence, and it's Matthew Man over it, and Epsom Rock there rather hair raising in a disputed second place with Lunders. The back marker's going over now. Again, a slow jump from Bow Street Runner. So it's Matthew Man coming on up the hill from Classic Lady, Epsom Rock and Luca Brassi's Boy, Solstice Twilight, followed by Liar's Dice. And they are being chased by Take Your Time and Dream Over, Right to Reason. Ruby Who, the Grey's a long way back, not as far back though as Acosta and the struggling Bow Street Runner. So they're turning in to face up to the next fence, which is fence number 6. And as they approach it, it is Matthew Man who's going to rise in front. Matthew Man with Classic Lady in the striped jacket alongside. Solstice Twilight's further back, being followed by Luca Brassi's Boy, and then Liar's Dice ahead of Take Your Time, Dream Over, clear Right to Reason. Epsom Rock has lost an awful lot of ground, having been prominent. That one now struggling, jumping the fence in front of the enclosures, and they're really stringing out. Ruby Who, the Greys alongside Epsom Rock. They're followed by Acosta, who's rather slow to start, and it's all over for Bow Street Runner, who pulls up. Jumping this fence before the enclosures, and it was Matthew Man who landed in front of Classic Lady. Coming up towards the winning post, Acosta unseated the rider at the back end of the field. So it is Matthew Man by half a length, with Classic Lady on the inside. Liar's Dice is just in behind them, ahead of Solstice Twilight, with Luca Brassi's Boy out wide, gapped them a few lengths to Take Your Time going into the turn, followed by Right to Reason. Dream Over is further back, and then Ruby Who, the Grey. And looking back, Epsom Rock is now pulling up. So they set out for the final circuit. Fence number 9 to be jumped next. And Classic Ladies alongside Matthew Man as they go to it. So it is Classic Lady and Matthew Man. Those two are running together as they go towards this next fence. They're being followed over it by Liar's Dice. Solstice Twilight's about 5 lengths further back. Luca Brassi's Boy is following that one. And then Take Your Time ahead of Dream Over, Right to Reason and Ruby Who. So running now towards the 10th fence, and Classic Lady John Dawson alongside Matthew Man. Of Stalker there is Liar's Dice. Solstice Twilight about 4 lengths further back, chased by Luca Brassi's Boy. And then it comes Take Your Time and Right to Reason. They're followed by Dream Over. Jump in the next plain fence. Classic Lady gets in a bit tight. Classic Lady and Matthew Man, followed by Liar's Dice 2.5 lengths further back in third. Break then of another 3 lengths to Solstice Twilight is running in 4th place. Luca Brassi's Boy is next, being chased by Take Your Time, then Dream Over, Right to Reason and Ruby Who, and it was Classic Lady and Matthew Man who led there. Running now towards the ditch. This is 5 from home. John Dawson and a Classic Lady going along merrily in front by just over a length to Matthew Mann as they approach the ditch. They're chased by Liar's Dice 2 lengths further back. Really good jump there from Classic Lady. So they go behind the buildings. Classic Lady, Matthew Mann and Liar's Dice tries to close in. Solstice Twilight is best of the rest, followed by Take Your Time. They take the turn now to face up to the final 4 fences. Further back to Dream Over. Luca Brassi's Boy is under pressure, then Ruby Who is followed by Right to Reason. Down the side of the course towards 4 out. Classic Lady by a length and a half, possibly 2 lengths to Matthew Mann and Liar's Dice. Liar's Dice now moving into second place. And there was Classic Lady who reached for it. Classic Lady by 3 lengths. Matthew Mann has unseated the rider, heading now towards the uphill climb. And it is a Classic Lady leading by 3 lengths. Liar's Dice second, but Take Your Time is getting closer there. The yellow jacket, gap of several lengths to Solstice Twilight and Ruby, who's never been on the track. So they're about to turn the corner to face the last line of fences. So it is Classic Lady at the top of the straight, running towards 3 out. Classic Lady tries to get away. Take Your Time is closing in second. Meanwhile, Liar's Dice has dropped the third. Classic Lady's lead is 3 lengths over Take Your Time. Right to Reason's been pulled up, running towards the second last. He's having to squeeze a little bit now at Classic Lady, and Take Your Time is coming there to put it to Classic Lady. And Take Your Time has taken over at the second last fence and jumped it really well. Take Your Time now is kicked on, and Classic Lady being eased down there in second place, and possibly something amiss with Classic Lady, who's pulling up, and it's Take Your Time going towards the last fence. It's over safely. Classic Lady is indeed being pulled up. Liar's Dice now left in second, followed by Solstice Twilight, but on the run in Take Your Time and Jack Teal striding out, ridden clear of the field. A good win of this, Take Your Time. Take Your Time has won. Bit of a race on for second place. Liar's Dice and Solstice Twilight involved with a loose horse there for places. And second place goes to Liar's Dice, third Solstice Twilight, and they are the only finishers.